My friends, I have to be honest, I have been kind of overwhelmed lately. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you won't know this, but I've recently started an online course, an introduction to psychology course, because for the past couple of years, I have been toying with the idea of going back to school to get another degree in clinical psychology. And I figured before I do that, I should do something online to see if it's really something that I would be interested in doing at a university level. And I found this incredible course at Oxford, which I've been doing for the past few weeks. Well, actually, not the past few weeks. I think I'm just going into my third week and I am loving it, but it has been so much work trying to keep up with all my coursework, continue doing YouTube, being a single dad, keep up with all my projects. It has just been a lot, and I am leaving on a trip in a couple of days. So today I wanted to sit down and film a really relaxed, laid back video and just really talk to you. So today we're going to be doing an Hermes slash luxury Q&A, which if you've been with me for a while, you already know the drill. These are the videos where I try to address all your Hermes questions, concerns, and dilemmas based on my decade-long experience of buying the brand. So if you'd like to hear my thoughts on anything and everything Hermes, just have a good old catch up, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. If you'd like to send me questions for future Q&As, there are one or two ways of doing it. You can either follow me on Instagram, where I will always post on my stories anytime I do a Q&A, or if you're subscribed to my YouTube, you'll have access to my community tab where you can also submit your questions. But anytime I do these Q&As, we always start with your questions from Instagram. So today I thought, let's do something different and start with the questions that I got on YouTube. I have not had a chance to go through all your questions, so I'm going to see them for the first time, which means that you're going to get my very honest first impressions, which honesty is the one thing I can always guarantee. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. And the first question that I have here is that I bought a mini Ulysses at Heathrow as a gift, but it didn't have inserts and I'm struggling to get one. Surely they should have stock of inserts if they're selling the Ulysses itself, which is a great question. Now, if you're not familiar with the Ulysses notebook covers, it's something that I actually reviewed quite recently. I talked about this piece, I think, in my video on the least expensive Hermes pieces, and it is genuinely a piece that makes an incredible gift. If you have someone in your life who is really big on journaling or someone who loves writing things down, this makes an incredibly elegant gift. Now, as the name suggests, the Ulysses is a notebook cover. It's a really simple single sheet of leather that comes in several different finishes and a ton of beautiful colors. But because it's only a cover, you actually have to buy the inserts, the notebook itself, separately from the cover, and they can be tough to find depending on the size, because these notebook covers do come in several different sizes and the inserts come in two different variations. You can either get them with blank paper or you can get them lined. At one point you could also get agenda refills for the Ulysses, but I don't think that they really make those anymore. I think you might be able to find them for certain sizes, but they definitely don't make them for every single Ulysses size at this point. But I would suggest keeping your eyes on the Hermes website. I know it is incredibly frustrating. It happened to me too when I first bought my Ulysses notebook covers. They didn't have the lined paper, only the blank one for the PM notebook covers, which was really annoying because I hate blank paper, so it took me quite a while to get the lined paper. But if there is a boutique near you, even if you didn't buy the notebook covers from them directly, I'm sure they are able to get the notebook inserts for you either now or later down the line. Usually Hermes will restock on their stationery at the beginning of the year, which I know is probably not the answer that you're looking for, because obviously it's a gift, so I'm sure there is a deadline on when you need the insert by. But just talk to your local boutique, or if there is a boutique wherever you live, reach out to them and see if they could order an insert for you, even if you didn't buy the notebook from them. Otherwise, yeah, just keep your eyes on the Hermes website, because they should at one point be back in stock. What do you think about this bag in your picture? Is it a good travel bag? So the bag in question is the Hermes grooming bag, which I have to be honest, I didn't use for the longest time, but I recently rediscovered it and now I cannot stop using it. It is genuinely one of the best Hermes bags, or one of the best bags full stop that I own. It's an incredibly casual, lightweight, functional bag. I have been using it as a gym bag. It's also incredible for traveling because it's light, it's practical, it's easy to use, it's easy to clean. It's not something you have to worry about. It is really functional because it has a ton of pockets, not only on the outside but also on the inside. It comes with a removable insert, so if you get the inside of the bag dirty, you can easily just throw the insert in the washing machine. There is also a shoulder strap, but the handles themselves are really long, so you can not only wear them in the crook of your arm or handheld, but you can also put them over your shoulder. It's really all good things, other than the fact that your color options are quite limited. It only comes in 2 colors currently, so it only comes in navy blue, which is the version that I have, or it comes in gray felt, which I wouldn't personally buy this bag in felt. And obviously it is a canvas bag, which I know a lot of people will not enjoy, but personally I adore this bag, not only as a travel bag, even though it does make an amazing travel bag, but also for everyday use if you're looking for a large bag, which I think this bag is almost 50 centimeters long, but it doesn't really look or feel like it because the structure is so soft that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Whereas if I bought a bag made of leather that was the same size, I think it would almost drown me in a weird way. But the structure itself, the shape, the functionality makes it one of the best Hermes bags, and it is also quite reasonably priced, especially considering that you are getting a full Hermes bag, but technically it is not part of the Hermes bag range. It's from their equestrian line. It's called the grooming bag because it was developed for equestrians to carry all their essentials to the stable, or all their grooming essentials. But personally, it not only makes an amazing everyday bag, a great gym bag, an incredible travel bag, but if you're looking for a baby bag, because it has all these pockets and all these hidden features, I think it is a bag that you would really enjoy. I recently saw your Loewe piano review and learned a lot from it, which I'm so happy to hear. You know, these deep dives take me so long to film, especially the one on Loewe piano. It took me literal years to do my research on, and I mean, obviously I wasn't constantly researching it, but anytime I traveled, I did my best to stop by the local Loewe piano boutiques. I tried to explore as much of the brand as I possibly could. I spoke to all my friends who I know are big Loewe piano collectors because I wanted to bring you as much information as I could squeeze into a single video. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. And you were wondering if I'm also going to do a review on Brunello Cucinelli, which I definitely could. I don't know as much about Brunello Cucinelli as I even knew about Loewe piano before I started my research for that video, but without a doubt, if it's a brand that you're interested in, I could definitely talk about them. I do have a handful of pieces from Brunello. They do my favorite skinny jeans by far. If you love skinny jeans, jeans that are a little bit more fitted, Brunello is the brand that you should turn to because their jeans are really fitted, but they're really flattering and they don't feel like the kind of skinny jeans I used to wear when I was in college. They are a lot more grown up, a lot more sophisticated. They wash beautifully, they wear amazingly well, they come in a ton of amazing colors. So I would definitely suggest starting your Brunello collection with their jeans, even though it's not what they are known for. Obviously they are known for their cashmere, which their knits are also nice, but personally I am incredibly partial to their jeans. And if it's a brand that you would like to know more about, it's definitely one that I could do a little bit more digging on. Do you happen to know anyone who has ordered a custom saddle from Hermes? I believe they have someone who comes out and gets the measurements of the horse. My mom is going to retire soon and is buying a property for a horse ranch. I thought a custom saddle would be a nice gift. Yes, it sounds like an incredibly thoughtful gift, and congrats to your mom. Yes, you are correct. Hermes does offer the custom saddle service. It's not something that I have ever taken advantage of, but I do know that I don't think she's still there, but at one point there was a lady named Monique working at the Madison Avenue boutique who was not only responsible for the equestrian department, but she was also the person who traveled the East Coast to take measurements of horses and speak to the riders about their preferences for saddles. So it's definitely something that does exist, and Hermes can send someone to your stable or to your ranch to take measurements of your horse or horses and basically walk you through the entire experience. But I personally don't know any details. I would suggest reaching out to your local boutique first to see if they could put you in touch with someone, and if they're unable to do that, maybe reach out to the Madison Avenue boutique, because obviously they do still have the equestrian department. I don't think Monique is still there, but surely she was replaced by someone. So I would suggest approaching it that way. Talk to your local boutique first, ask them about the overall experience and how they could facilitate that, and if they're unable to do so, reach out to one of the larger flagships where you live. In the US, I know your best bet is the boutique on Madison Avenue, because they did at one point have someone who was able to come to your house and take all the measurements they needed to create the perfect saddle for you, or in this case, for your mom. Let's move on to some of your questions from Instagram. And the first one is, do you think the mini bag trend has died down and big bags are gonna rule next year? I'm not really sure if it's a trend. I'm definitely seeing more and more larger bags on the runway and more larger bags being offered. Personally, I have been a lot more drawn to my more oversized bags, but I completely understand that there are people out there who really suit small bags and don't really suit larger bags. It's all about proportions. So something that is large on me will be way too overwhelming for on someone else. Some people will always carry small bags because it just really suits their lifestyle. So I think it depends on what you need, and I wouldn't stop buying small bags just because it's no longer a trend. If you really enjoy small bags, if they suit your lifestyle because you don't have to carry a lot around, if you're petite and some larger bags look way too overwhelming on you, continue buying smaller bags. But from a trend perspective, I definitely think that larger bags are becoming more and more popular, which I'm glad about, because you know that if it's a trend, there are going to be more options available for us out there who are genuinely interested in buying some large and in charge creations. I love this question. More bitching about trends. Love this so much. I don't even know if I'm aware of the latest trends. I feel like I'm so out of the loop, but I can tell you some new launches that I'm sick of seeing that have been insanely popular. One of them being this is something that I was quite tempted by to get at the beginning, but then it went viral, and now every single person and their mom and their grandma and their neighbor and their dog owns it, if of course they are into luxury, which is the Loewe tank top. It's a really simple ripped tank, which I love the sound of. I love wearing tank tops under shirts in the summer, and Loewe came out with a tank top. I think it was part of their women's collection to begin with, but obviously you guys know that labels never stop me, but it was a really simple tank that they initially did in white with a tiny little Loewe embroidery on the front, which I just loved the look of. I love the Loewe logo. I love ripped tanks, so I thought it would be a match made in heaven. But then I started seeing it over and over and over again. I mean, I couldn't go on social media without spotting at least a few people with the shirt. And then anytime I went shopping, I would see this tank on at least a couple of people. And it was so popular that Loewe ended up introducing it in additional colors. But by that point, I was so tired of seeing it, so I did not buy that. Another thing that I don't think anyone should buy at this point is the insanely popular rounded Celine sunglasses with the Triumph logo on the side. I think those are way too overdone. Now, obviously, this is just my humble opinion. You spend your own money on whatever brings you joy, but when I spend so much money on a luxury piece, I either want the piece to be beautifully crafted, I wanted the quality to be unmatched and outstanding, so that would be one way of justifying the price for me, or I would like the design to be unique and I don't want it to feel redundant and overdone, and those sunglasses feel incredibly overdone at this point. I mean, every single person who has anything to do with luxury fashion, whether they aspire to have a collection or they are a lover of luxury fashion in general, has those sunglasses in their collection, which there's nothing wrong with. They are nice sunglasses, but to me at this point, I do not want to be anywhere near those. So that is definitely something that I am tired of seeing. Another thing, what else have I seen recently? Oh my god, that new Chanel bag that people are calling, I think they're calling it the Chanel Kelly bag. It's this weird flat vintage inspired Chanel bag that features a single top handle that's kind of chubby yet flat. It's the weirdest thing that people are going crazy for. I think it is genuinely one of the ugliest Chanel bags I have ever seen. I mean, there are some cute vintage inspired Chanel bags, but that bag is not cute in any shape or form. So I do not understand the hype. Perhaps I am uncool, so that's something else. And then you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of the Cali to go wallets. I was actually at Hermes a couple of days ago and I saw someone carrying a Cali wallet and I just thought to myself, you know, this would look so much prettier if you just carried that Cali wallet handheld, but that is just my opinion. You know, I'm not the be-all and end-all of Hermes or luxury fashion. These are just my honest thoughts, but personally, when it comes to the Cali to go, I think that the strap looks way too underwhelming for the price. It just looks and feels like an afterthought. It is way too thin. I don't like the fact that it's not adjustable. The way it's attached to the bag isn't the most refined and elaborate design either. I think you're much better off just buying a regular Cali wallet instead of buying a Cali to go. So those are some pieces that I am definitely not going to be adding to my collection anytime soon. What is the biggest Hermes mistake? I assume you are referring to shopping at Hermes and mistakes people make when they are new to the brand. So what's the first thing that comes to mind? I would definitely say not really enjoying the experience, really being focused on